Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, 12 Legionnaires disease cases confirmed in Hampton. 1 death reported. Let's take a listen to the video and some of the press conference.
National Kia needs to sell 200 new Kias by the end of August to make room for the final stages of construction of the...
Joining us this afternoon for an update on the Legionnaire's disease outbreak investigation. I want to first give you all a brief update regarding what Legionnaire's disease is to refresh our memories. Legionnaire's disease is a potentially serious bacterial pneumonia which is caused by the Legionella bacteria. This is a bacteria that is actually widespread in our natural environment and can be found in sources of warm, fresh water and wet soils. People are generally exposed to this bacteria through inhaling particles of water that have been dispersed into the air. This is not an infection or a bacteria that poses risk to people if they are swimming in water with this bacteria, if they are drinking water with this bacteria. It is not an infection that is spread person to person. It is primarily transmitted through inhaling contaminated water droplets that have been dispersed into the air. I will say that outbreaks in communities have been known to occur with contamination of...
Okay, that is a little bit of the press conference video that happened earlier today. If you want to watch that whole video, we will share the link with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. Health officials announced Thursday that there are now 12 confirmed cases of Legionnaires disease connected to Hampton, and 1 elderly patient has died. New Hampshire State epidemiologist Dr. Benjamin Chan said the person who died was an elderly adult who was from out of state. No age or gender for the victim was released. Legionella pneumonia is a bacterial infection contracted by inhaling contaminated water droplets, which can be spread in a number of ways, including hot tubs and cooling towers. The illness can't be contracted by swimming in or drinking water and cannot be spread from person to person. The elderly victim in this outbreak died due to complications from pneumonia, Chan said. Chan said officials are still investigating other potential cases. Additional confirmations are expected in the coming days. The majority of those who have contracted the bacterial infection have resided in the Ashworth Avenue area between Island Path and M Streets. Based on the investigation to date, Chan said officials have identified 2 hot tub spas in the vicinity. One's at the Sands Resort and the Harris Sea Ranch Motel that may be linked to the outbreak. Officials said the hot tubs were closed for precautionary reasons because hot tubs are generally a common source of Legionnaires disease, though it's too early to know if those tubs are connected to the outbreak. The hot tubs remain closed and do not pose any potential risk to the public at this time, Chan said. Both hotels remain open. Officials from both hotels declined to comment. Chan said officials believe that the current overall health risk in the community is low. Individuals who are at higher risk of contracting Legionnaires' disease should be aware of the outbreak and take steps to protect their health, possibly including not visiting the area, officials said. Officials previously said that overall the past 5 years, New Hampshire has averaged about 32 cases of Legionnaires' disease each year. A cluster of infections hasn't been seen in the state in more than 10 years. Anyone with information or questions about the outbreak is asked to call the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Service Public Inquiry line at 603-271-9461. The line is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., including weekends. Pieces of tooth removed from doctor after shark attack on Cape Cod. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
I spoke with the trauma surgeon who actually treated the shark survivor about an hour after he was bitten in the leg off Truro, and the doctor says he was conscious talking as they began damage control surgery inside the building behind me. We're talking about the shark attacking 61-year-old William Litton, a New York neurologist. He's now at Spalding Rehab. They had him walking this week. It's been just 15 days since a shark bit his leg in 8 to 10 feet water off Truro. Litton, who reportedly watches nature documentaries, remembered to punch the shark in the gills to improve a getaway. After 8 operations, he'll be back at Tufts in a few days because of multiple wounds.
So approximately from his hip to just above the knee, nearly all the way around. He has a laceration that extends across the lower aspect of both buttocks, several puncture wounds to the right leg, as well as 3 tendon injuries to the back of the left hand.
During the washout of the upper thigh wound, doctors recovered this, a piece of the shark's tooth. Look at it, it's like a nature's serrated knife, and it's huge to be just a broken piece. It is now with marine experts, and they're trying to determine if this was a great white shark or what. We're live at Tufts Medical Center. Rondella Richardson, WCVB, News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police beat and plummeted man accused of killing deputy defense attorney claims. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
An accused cop killer claims he was beaten by police when he was arrested. In court paperwork, the attorney for John Williams, who's accused of shooting and killing Somerset County Sheriff's Deputy Gene Cole, claims Williams was, quote, beat and pummeled to the point of causing him to defecate himself. His lawyer also says because of fear of future beatings and the effects of opioid withdrawal, Williams confessed to killing Cole. His lawyer is requesting that statement not be allowed as evidence in his murder trial. Back to you, Steve.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at that U.S. stock market and see how U.S. stock market closed for this Thursday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in, the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in, the red and went down. S&P 500 closed in, the red and went down. CNBC IQ 100 closed in, the red and went down. Gold closed flat. Oil closed flat. US 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed in, the red and went down. And VIX closed in the green and went up. Stock snapped 4-day winning streak after report Trump backs tariffs on $200 billion in China's goods. Stock snapped a 4-day winning streak Thursday after a report said President Trump would support moving ahead with additional tariffs on China's imports as early as next week. Emotional Joe Biden remembers John McCain as a brother. McCain's story is the American story, grounded in respect and destiny, said Biden. Former Vice President Joe Biden gave a tearful remembrance of his friend, John McCain, at a memorial service in Phoenix, Arizona Thursday, calling the late senator his brother. And that is it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night, everyone. Bye.